In a move that has taken the entertainment world by storm, Macaulay Culkin, the former child star who became a household name with his iconic role as Kevin McAllister in Home Alone, has come forward with explosive claims regarding the darker side of Hollywood. For decades, Culkin remained a quiet observer of the industry, choosing to stay out of the public eye as much as possible after his meteoric rise to fame in the early 90s. But now, he's speaking out, and his words are making waves, drawing attention from fans, critics, and Hollywood elites alike. The return of a former child star, Macaulay Culkin's return to the public spotlight, has been nothing short of seismic. After years of media silence and retreating from the limelight, Culkin resurfaced with bombshell accusations that have left many stunned. Culkin has openly stated that he was not only aware of the pervasive exploitation in Hollywood, but also became a target due to his status as one of the most famous child stars in the world. The depth of his accusations, involving powerful figures in the industry, raises questions about the nature of child exploitation in Hollywood. There are disturbing claims that powerful figures, including studio executives, producers, and even prominent celebrities, played a role in exploiting young actors. These revelations are shocking, as they suggest that some of the biggest names in Hollywood may be complicit in a deeply rooted system of abuse and manipulation. Culkin's accusations go beyond just the realm of exploitation, touching on disturbing rituals and secretive organizations that allegedly control the entertainment industry. The dark side of Hollywood, a web of abuse. Culkin's decision to speak out could be seen as an act of courage, but it also shines a light on the underbelly of Hollywood, a world that often hides its darkest secrets behind glitz and glamour. Hollywood has long been a breeding ground for stories of exploitation, where the innocence of young actors is frequently overshadowed by the pursuit of profit and power. The entertainment industry, known for its glossy image and allure, is often far more dangerous than it appears on the surface. Hollywood's treatment of child stars has been a topic of discussion for years. These young performers are often thrust into the public eye at an age when they are least equipped to handle the pressures and responsibilities that come with fame. Many have claimed that they were manipulated or exploited by the very people who were supposed to protect them: their managers, agents, and even parents. As they grow older, many of these stars find themselves cast aside, no longer useful to the entertainment industry that once adored them. One of the most startling aspects of Culkin's claims is his assertion that some of the most powerful individuals in Hollywood, including celebrities like Oprah Winfrey, have been complicit in this exploitation. Oprah, long considered one of the most influential figures in media, has found herself at the center of a growing number of conspiracy theories. Some believe that she, along with other industry giants, has knowingly turned a blind eye to the abuse taking place behind the scenes. Oprah Winfrey, the enigmatic media mogul. Oprah Winfrey is a name that has become synonymous with success, empowerment, and media dominance. As the queen of daytime television, Oprah built an empire that includes a vast network of media platforms, production companies, and philanthropic ventures. She has been hailed as one of the most influential women in the world, with a personal brand that epitomizes strength, wisdom, and empathy. However, beneath the surface of this carefully curated image, there are questions surrounding Oprah's ties to some of Hollywood's most controversial figures. One of the most significant and disturbing associations is Oprah's long-standing connection with Harvey Weinstein. Weinstein, a former Hollywood mogul, has been accused of multiple acts of sexual harassment and assault by a number of women, leading to the rise of the Me Too movement. Despite these allegations, Oprah continued to maintain a close relationship with Weinstein, which has raised suspicions about her role in enabling his behavior. Oprah and Harvey Weinstein, a complex relationship. Many believe that Oprah's friendship with Weinstein could indicate a deeper complicity in his actions. There are numerous photographs of Oprah and Weinstein together at high-profile events, as well as reports that Oprah publicly defended him at a time when his reputation was being called into question. Some critics argue that Oprah's failure to distance herself from Weinstein, despite the mounting allegations, speaks to a deeper problem within Hollywood's elite circles. This connection between Oprah and Weinstein also brings to light the question of why powerful individuals in Hollywood often seem to protect each other, even when faced with serious accusations. The culture of secrecy in the entertainment industry has allowed powerful figures to protect their own interests, even if it means turning a blind eye to abusive behavior. Oprah's refusal to speak out more forcefully against Weinstein or to acknowledge the allegations sooner has led some to question her integrity and motivations. Corey Feldman, the silent suffering of child stars. The conversation around child exploitation in Hollywood has been further fueled by the outspoken former child star, Corey Feldman. Feldman, best known for his roles in films like The Lost Boys and Stand By Me, has spent years speaking out about the abuse he endured during his time in Hollywood. In his 2013 memoir, Choreography, Feldman detailed the horrific experiences of sexual abuse that he and his late co-star Corey Haim suffered at the hands of powerful Hollywood figures. Feldman's decision to go public with his story was not without its consequences. For years, he was met with skepticism and ridicule, as many in the industry were unwilling to acknowledge the dark truth behind his accusations. Feldman's efforts to expose the abuse that he and other child actors faced have made him a polarizing figure. Some view him as a whistleblower who is trying to hold the industry accountable for its actions, while others have dismissed his claims as exaggerated or self-serving. Elijah Wood, the cautionary tale of Hollywood's dark side. Another former child star who has been outspoken about the dangers of Hollywood is Elijah Wood. Wood, who became famous for his role as Frodo Baggins in the Lord of the Rings trilogy, has spoken about the predatory nature of the entertainment industry, particularly when it comes to young actors. In a 2016 interview, Wood revealed that he had been shielded from the darker side of Hollywood by his mother, who kept him away from parties and other events where abuse was prevalent. Wood's comments highlighted the dangers of Hollywood's celebrity culture, where young actors are often seen as commodities to be exploited. In his interview, Wood compared the entertainment industry to a pedophilic ring, a statement that drew both praise and criticism. He acknowledged that many of his peers were not as fortunate as he was to have protective parents, and as a result, they fell victim to the predatory behavior that runs rampant in Hollywood. The allegations against powerful Hollywood figures. The most disturbing part of Culkin, Feldman, and Wood's testimonies is the suggestion that some of the most powerful figures in Hollywood may be involved in a system of exploitation that is not only sexual, but also involves manipulative control and coercion. These figures are often protected by their wealth, influence, and power, making it incredibly difficult for victims to speak out or seek justice. Culkin, for example, has implied that there are satanic elites in Hollywood, individuals who use their power to control and manipulate young actors through psychological and physical abuse. This chilling claim, though unverified and highly controversial, raises unsettling questions about the true nature of the industry. While there is no solid evidence to support the existence of such secretive groups or rituals, the mere mention of them has ignited public speculation and fear. The struggles of child actors. An industry built on exploitation. At the heart of these revelations is the harsh reality that child actors often find themselves in a system that prioritizes profit over well-being. The pressure to perform, maintain a certain image, and continually produce successful work can be overwhelming. In many cases, young actors are not allowed to enjoy a normal childhood, instead being thrust into the spotlight and forced to meet the demands of an industry that sees them as little more than products. The stories of Macaulay Culkin, Corey Feldman, and Elijah Wood are just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to the struggles of child actors in Hollywood. For every success story, there are countless others who suffer in silence, their voices drowned out by the powerful figures who control the industry. The need for reform in Hollywood. As more and more child actors come forward with their stories, it becomes increasingly clear that Hollywood is a toxic environment that needs significant reform. The stories of Culkin, Feldman, Wood, and others shed light on the dangers that young performers face when they enter the entertainment industry. While some progress has been made in terms of protecting child actors, much more needs to be done to ensure that these individuals are treated with the respect, dignity, and care that they deserve. If anything, the brave efforts of these former child stars to speak out about the abuse they endured serve as a reminder that change is possible. But it will take more than just a few voices to dismantle the deeply entrenched systems of exploitation in Hollywood. It will take a collective effort from all corners of the entertainment industry to confront these issues and create a safer environment for future generations of young actors. Until then, the dark secrets of Hollywood will continue to haunt the industry, and the victims will remain voiceless, their stories buried under layers of power, wealth, and influence. The dark underbelly of Hollywood, child stars, and the system. Hollywood, the world's entertainment capital, has long been a dream destination for many aspiring young actors, promising fame, fortune, and a shot at superstardom. However, behind the glitz and glamour lies a shadowy world where child stars often face exploitation and abuse. The pressures of stardom, combined with the industry's complex power dynamics, can make children particularly vulnerable. The entertainment world has historically treated its youngest actors as commodities to be used and discarded, and the history of child stars is filled with stories of exploitation and harm. From an early age, many children enter the business with limited understanding of the darker aspects of the industry, often under the guidance of parents or guardians who may themselves be unaware of the potential dangers that lurk behind the scenes. The public often perceives these young stars as living the dream, leading lives full of luxury, fame, and adoration. However, the reality for many is starkly different. Hollywood's powerhouses, be they producers, agents, or even fellow actors, can sometimes manipulate children for their own benefit, forcing them into situations they aren't emotionally or psychologically prepared for. From an accelerated career pace to toxic environments that prey on their vulnerability, child stars can be pushed beyond their limits, facing undue emotional strain and even physical harm. The industry's systemic failings have led many former child stars to suffer in silence or to speak out only years later, often after significant personal trauma has occurred. Through a combination of media scrutiny and public expectations, many child stars find themselves under pressure to stay in the limelight, even when they may want to escape or take a break. The consequences of such pressure are long-lasting, often leading to struggles with mental health, substance abuse, and fractured relationships. At its core, this dark side of Hollywood represents a deeper issue of systemic exploitation, where the welfare of the young stars is often sacrificed for the pursuit of profits and personal agendas. The term Hollywood machine becomes more than just a metaphor. It's an accurate description of an industry that chews up and spits out its stars without regard for the consequences. The Culkin family, a struggle for control and independence. Macaulay Culkin, a beloved child star best known for his role in Home Alone, is one of the many actors who has publicly discussed the pressures and difficulties of growing up in Hollywood. Born into a family that seemed supportive at first glance, his parents, Kit and Patricia Culkin, had different visions for their son's future. While Kit, his father, pushed Macaulay into acting from a young age, Patricia, his mother, initially supported him. However, the eventual divorce between his parents and the ensuing bitter custody battle over Macaulay added another layer of complexity to his already challenging life. In a business driven by ambition, his parents' fight for custody seemed to be fueled by a desire to control Macaulay's future earnings and career trajectory. The custody battle ultimately gave Patricia full control over Macaulay's decisions, marking a pivotal moment in his young life. The emotional toll that this period had on Culkin cannot be underestimated. The very public nature of the divorce, combined with the added pressures of his already demanding career, left Macaulay with little room to develop a sense of normalcy. In addition to the stress of the custody battle, the toll of managing a young child star's career, often at the cost of their well-being, cannot be ignored. With Macaulay's sudden rise to stardom, Hollywood seemed more like a high-stakes business venture than a space for nurturing young talent. His career was inextricably linked to the financial ambitions of his parents, and by the time he reached adulthood, Culkin was finally able to make decisions for himself. Yet, his desire to regain his personal autonomy led to a significant break from acting, marking a shift from being a product of Hollywood to taking control of his own narrative. This battle for control would ultimately serve as a reflection of the broader issues that plague the world of child stars, particularly in terms of parental influence and financial control. Exploitation and abuse in Hollywood. From child stars to alleged victims. Over the years, a growing number of former child actors have come forward to share their harrowing experiences of exploitation, abuse, and manipulation within Hollywood. These stories, once buried under the weight of stardom, have emerged as crucial testimonies of the industry's darker side. Macaulay Culkin, Corey Feldman, and Elijah Wood are just a few prominent examples of child stars who have spoken out about their traumatic experiences and the pervasive culture of abuse that exists within Hollywood. For many of these child stars, the abuse took various forms: psychological, physical, and sexual. While some of the abuse occurred within the confines of the casting rooms and on-set environments, other forms of manipulation extended to the personal lives of these children, with adults in positions of power exerting control over them. The entertainment industry's superficial nature and its obsession with profit often forced these young stars into compromising situations that left lasting emotional scars. From forced interactions with predatory figures to the pressure of remaining in the public eye at the cost of personal well-being, the cost of fame for a child star has been staggeringly high. Corey Feldman, in particular, has been a vocal advocate for the protection of child actors, naming names of the individuals he claims were responsible for the abuse he faced. His brave decision to speak out has sparked public dialogue about the need for better protections for young actors and a fundamental change in the way the industry operates. For many, the idea of child stars being exploited is not just a theoretical problem. It's a stark reality that impacts real people, often in the form of lifelong trauma, substance abuse, and mental health struggles. The alleged connections between Oprah Winfrey and Hollywood's dark secrets. As one of the most influential media figures in the world, Oprah Winfrey has long been a beacon of hope for many, using her platform to champion social causes, support victims, and offer inspiration. However, her alleged ties to some of Hollywood's most controversial figures have raised serious questions about her role in the industry's darker undercurrents. Oprah's close associations with individuals such as Harvey Weinstein, John of God, and Jeffrey Epstein have cast a shadow over her image, with critics pointing out her complicity in perpetuating a culture of abuse. Despite Oprah's history of helping victims and standing up for the oppressed, some argue that her friendships with powerful, abusive men have stained her reputation. Critics have questioned whether Oprah was aware of their transgressions, and if so, why she chose to align herself with them for so long. In particular, her relationship with Harvey Weinstein, a Hollywood mogul whose predatory behavior became infamous after the Me Too movement, has been a source of tension. Oprah and Weinstein's close friendship raises uncomfortable questions about how far the media mogul was willing to go to protect her own image and the interests of powerful men in the industry. Additionally, Oprah's controversial connection to figures like John of God, who was convicted of sexual abuse, only adds to the mystery. Allegations that Oprah may have played a role in enabling or overlooking the actions of such individuals have not only diminished her public standing, but have opened up a larger conversation about the ethical responsibilities of those in positions of power. Her support of some questionable figures has left many questioning how deep Hollywood's networks of exploitation really go, and how long they've been sustained under the guise of benevolence. Elijah Wood's awakening, confronting Hollywood's hidden dangers. Elijah Wood, known for his iconic role as Frodo Baggins in the Lord of the Rings trilogy, has been one of the more outspoken figures in the fight against the darker elements of Hollywood. In interviews, he has described Hollywood as a place where young actors are particularly vulnerable to exploitation and abuse. Wood's personal experience in the industry was shaped by his mother's careful protection of him from the dangers he saw around him. Unlike some of his peers, Wood was shielded from the predatory behaviors that have become all too common in Hollywood. Wood's remarks about the vipers in Hollywood, a term he used to describe predatory figures within the industry, highlight the systemic issues that have allowed such abuse to thrive for decades. His comments reflect a deep understanding of the inner workings of the industry, revealing a culture of secrecy, protection, and manipulation that has allowed these abuses to go unnoticed by the public for so long. Wood's perspective is not only personal, but also informed by his role as an observer within an industry that prioritizes profit over people. Despite his success and the protections afforded to him by his family, Wood has consistently used his platform to raise awareness about the exploitation of young actors. His comments echoed those of others, such as Corey Feldman, who have spoken out about the abuse they faced while growing up in Hollywood. By shining a light on these issues, Wood is helping to break the silence that has often surrounded the dark side of the entertainment industry, pushing for reform and accountability. Corey Feldman's fight. Naming names and exposing the truth. Corey Feldman, a former child star best known for his roles in The Lost Boys and Stand By Me, has been one of the most vocal critics of Hollywood's treatment of young actors. Feldman has dedicated much of his adult life to exposing the abuse he and other child stars suffered during their time in the industry. His memoir, Choreography, revealed the harrowing experiences of sexual abuse he and his late friend Corey Haim endured at the hands of powerful Hollywood figures. In his interviews and public appearances, Feldman has named names, calling out specific individuals he claims were responsible for the abuse. Feldman's fight for justice has been met with a mix of support and skepticism. While some see him as a courageous whistleblower, others dismiss his claims as sensational or driven by personal vendettas. Nevertheless, Feldman has continued to speak out, demanding a full investigation into the abuse that many child stars suffered in silence. His advocacy has led to a broader conversation about the need for systemic change in Hollywood, with more and more former child actors coming forward to share their stories. Feldman's advocacy is also a testament to the power of speaking out, even when the odds are stacked against you. His efforts have inspired other former child stars, like Elijah Wood and Macaulay Culkin, to join the conversation and push for greater accountability in the entertainment industry. By naming names and sharing his experiences, Feldman has forced Hollywood to confront its darkest secrets, and in doing so, has empowered a new generation of actors to speak their truths. Hollywood's culture of silence, protecting abusers and discrediting victims. The entertainment industry is often viewed as a glamorous and prestigious world where stars are born and careers are made. However, a troubling undercurrent runs through Hollywood, where powerful individuals seem to be above the law. This culture of silence, where victims are often discredited and abusers are protected, has allowed exploitation and abuse to persist for decades. In many cases, victims of abuse within Hollywood face insurmountable pressure to remain silent or risk being ostracized or blacklisted from the industry. The prevalence of powerful figures who protect their own interests, often at the expense of others, has created an environment where abuse can thrive unchecked. One of the most dangerous aspects of this culture is the public discrediting of victims. Allegations of abuse are frequently met with skepticism or outright dismissal, particularly when the accused are high-profile figures with immense influence. Victims are often pressured into silence, their careers jeopardized by the industry's refusal to confront uncomfortable truths. Hollywood's reliance on public image and profit means that the reputations of its stars and power players are often prioritized over the safety and well-being of the individuals who make up the industry. The cases of Macaulay Culkin, Corey Feldman, and others serve as chilling reminders of the ways in which the entertainment industry has allowed its darkest secrets to remain hidden for far too long. This silence has begun to crack in recent years, with the Me Too movement and whistleblowers like Feldman and Wood pushing for accountability. However, the struggle is far from over. Hollywood must confront its abusive past and present if it is to create a safer, more equitable environment for future generations of performers.